All right, what's up, everybody? Phil Batterson back with another video. Just made it to the top of first kind of long workout hike, and something I've been thinking about in the last 10 minutes since I actually recorded the last video was what I'm going to do going downhill. So with ultra marathons, you're going to accumulate probably a lot of uphill, a lot of downhill, and something to be aware of actually with any sort of running in general is that when you're going downhill, your legs are creating this sort of contraction style that's called eccentric motion. Eccentric motion is where your muscle is contracting but getting longer at the same time. It's a weird way to think about it because if your muscle was contracting, like, it should be getting shorter. But when you're going downhill, there's certain muscles, especially your quads, that are contracting, but like trying to not elongate at the same time. So what happens when you're doing a lot of downhill running, downhill walking, those sort of things, you're actually at much higher risk of accumulating a lot more muscular damage. And what's happening from, say, a physiological standpoint is you have these proteins called actin and myosin. These proteins are what essentially walk across each other to make your muscles shorter or contract. And when you're doing eccentric contractions, you can actually start to damage those proteins. And when those proteins start to tear, obviously you're going to get a lot more damage. Sometimes this can result in delayed onset muscle soreness, or that soreness that you get after like those really tough workouts a couple days afterwards, or even workouts like the day of and the day after. So something that I'm trying to do right now is I have my weight vest on and I try to do a little bit of jogging downhill because I'm actually trying to get a little bit more of that damage right now. Because if I get a little bit more of that damage, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of easy work in between my harder long runs. And that means I can recover from, that said damage. And then later on, my body will be more adept at taking workload, especially going uphill, downhill, when I actually start to do a ton of elevation gain and elevation descent. So that's just something to think about, is in early phases of your workouts, your preparatory phase, is you can accumulate a little bit more of that downhill eccentric contraction, and it will be beneficial to you later on, because you take the weight vest off and then your body will be a lot better at dealing with that eccentric contraction of going downhill. So that's just something I was just briefly thinking about. There is a method to my madness, jogging down the hill with a 20-pound weight vest on. Obviously, if anything starts to hurt, you got to stop. But other than that, let's try to elicit some good physiological adaptations so we can be stronger individuals for it. And if you have any comments or questions, comment down below. Let me know what sort of topics you want me to cover on my long runs, because I really enjoy thinking about, big problems and trying to come up with solutions, or trying to at least justify some of the questions that I have personally. So leave your comments and questions down below. If you're enjoying these sort of videos, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Really helps me know if my videos are being effective. All right, everybody, we'll see you in the next one.